Not much of a bio. I'm just an American who cares about his country. That's really it. I don't know about you, but for me, November 8th, 2008 doesn't go down as a great day in history. You know, I have to admit that night, there's a part of me that wanted to say, you know, I'm glad we've elected the first African-American president. I think that shows some progress, but you know, I'm even more concerned about the country, the way our country is going. The way this man wants to drive us into socialism, to drive our country away from the dream of our founding fathers. That really concerns me. Yeah, there's a little part that says, but you know what? I love my country more. But 9 months later, here in September, I have a fresh awakening of optimism and hope. Now, this hope has nothing to do with campaign promises from our president. But right here, seeing all of these people at an event like this, seeing millions of Americans waking up, realizing this can't happen here. This is our country. We have to say something. At every event I've been to like this, I've met at least 3 or 4 people who come to me and say, you know, I've never been interested in politics before. I never cared about what was going on in government before. But they're starting to wake up and smell the socialism.
Character, not color.
Character, not color, exactly. I was praying with a man who, right after the election, another black man, he was thanking the Lord that we had this new black president, but then he said, but Lord, did it have to be this guy? But you know what? Despite how terrible the day that was, if that's what it takes to wake us up, if that's what it takes to get this country moving again, then I'm happy. I'm happy to see all of you here. The fight has begun. The fight begins.
That's right.
It's a fight not waged by political operatives, career politicians, but you and me, your neighbor, my neighbor. It starts with us. We the people demand our government back. We don't settle for socialism. We say, government, my Constitution does not limit me, it limits you. You work for us. We don't work for you. Enough's enough. The president on Wednesday night delivered his great speech on health care.
I
I'm glad
second
someone
that.
had the guts to say it. I was ready to write off the entire Republican Party until I heard someone had enough guts to stand up and say, you lie. Someone had enough guts to stand up and tell the truth. You know, the president kept saying, you know, I want all people to come to the table. I want to hear from all sides. I say, Mr. President, come on down. Join us. Let's give the other side. Let's listen. You know, I have a list here of some things we need to clear up. Some misunderstandings, if you will. And I think some of us at these Tea Parties get some of our facts messed up. So let's clarify a few things, okay? Number 1 on my list. This plan will not lead to socialized health care. It is socialized health care.
That's right.
Number 2, you can keep your own doctor. Well, just as long as he's on a list approved by the government and subscribes to everything the Obama administration says, then you can keep your doctor, no problem. Number 3, you can keep your own insurance if you like it. Just as long as you like the public option, we're fine. Number 5, this will not lead to rationing. It will lead to rioting. This is not single-payer health care. We're all going to be paying for this. That is, unless you're an illegal immigrant, that is. Number 6, this will not lead to forced euthanasia. I think after a few years of this administration, it's going to be voluntary. Number 7, we can afford this health care bill. Don't worry, we have a whole Federal Reserve that can print up enough money. Don't worry about it. And finally, number 8, Congress does not need to read the thousands of pages that make up this bill. This is our president's faith-based initiative. Just trust me, have faith in me. You don't need to read the bill. Just wanted to clear up a few things here. That's our president. I'm glad people are waking up to this. My wife was telling me just the other morning, they were talking on the news about Congressman Wilson, and said, you know what? That is, it may be disrespectful here for him to have said that. It may have been unorthodox. You know what it is most of all? American. It's American to stand up and proclaim the truth. It's American to stand up and say, no. No tyranny. No socialism. You want to take away our freedom? You don't do it in this country. You don't do it right here. It's time for we the people again. We continue to, we have been, every name in the book has been thrown at us, hasn't it? We've been called Nazis. We've been called domestic terrorists. We've been called AstroTurf. Never been compared to grass before, but okay. We're we're the mob. So what do? We silence ourselves, go home, and forget the whole thing? No, we fight on. If they want to bring it, then fine. Bring it on. We're ready for the fight. Why? Liberty is worth the fight. The greatest misperception we have is that we can't do anything about this. Time after time, I've heard American citizens sit down and say, you know what, I would go out and vote. I would go out and protest, but what good's it going to do? We the people have rights. We the people have power. Once we get it in our head that we can actually do something about this, these Tea Parties will overrun the nation and bring it back to where
That's
it
right.
has been. We go back to the Constitution, back to the Bill of Rights, back to the dream of our founding fathers. But it starts with me and you. It starts with us in an unrelenting passion for liberty and for freedom.
That's right.
The very passion this country is founded on. We say enough's enough, we stay informed, and we get involved. Next November, we'll see where this leads to. We'll see if the bums are thrown out. And I have every confidence, looking at folks just like all of you, that we're going to see a second American Revolution November 2010.
That's right.
Let me urge you, stay informed. Know who you're voting for. Ignorance is what leads to tyranny. The biggest problem we have here is not just attacks on liberty, but it's apathy. We have to stay informed and vote intelligently. For years now, we wonder, why are we in this mess? We keep sending the two same parties year after year after year.